Hey, this is Michael with digitaltshirtshop.com. So this is video number 2 for the morning. Before we start, I'd love to ask you to subscribe. Again, with digitaltshirtshop.com, we're trying to give you an idea of what our actual sales and expenses were. Uh, and for July and August, this is pretty rough. I've just kind of pulled the t-shirt expense and fee expense out from our websites. There are some other things that I have not included in this, and part for um, time's sake, because I just have not gotten these out. But in general, there are probably a few $100s in additional expenses I just have not included. But this at least gives you an idea of profitability of this business and how much we made based on what the sales were for a given month. And so if you just kind of factored in a few $100s in there, you'd see how that swung just a little bit different. So July, you'd see that we ended at 2005 39.32. I actually filmed this video a second ago and realized there was a mistake, and so this is a little different than the July video. I was pulling the Etsy numbers off differently. I realized this is my actual Etsy bill. Well, this is the August month, I believe. And what I was doing, I was looking at, I think when I originally pulled it off, I pulled at what I actually paid in July instead of what my actual bill was. So in August, it says I paid $566.50, where for example, right here, Etsy right here, my actual bill was $633.68. So if I was to come in here and click on August, you'd see the actual bill was that. What I actually paid was that, and originally I accidentally put that number in as what my bill was. But you can see they've broken everything down: listing fees, transaction fees, and again, all of these fees do not include their actual credit card fees. So there is actually, in addition to this, a credit card fee that comes out. So we had $633. There's our pattern fee. We did talk about possibly getting rid of the pattern site because of the sale conversion on there. Google shopping fee. So those are our listings on Google. These are our promoted listings on Etsy. Renewal fees for relisting products. All in all, $633.68. Oops. And then in addition to that, we also had $222.75 in processing fees. So $850 out of our $5,900. Now, this is one of those things that makes you kind of think about if I was using another web source. So on another web source, I would naturally spend probably 3% in card processing fees. So I don't think this is necessarily all that outrageous. However, when you look at all these other listing fees, if I have a website, I know, for example, I use BigCommerce a lot, and you can get the bottom of the line BigCommerce website for $29 a month with no transaction fees. So that would include this, $15. That would include this, $63, 60, 70, that's almost $80 just right there, and this right here, and this right here. So $170, 80, 90, 110, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. It's like, oh my gosh, it's like you're getting close to like $300 for the month. Okay. Now, so if I was to have my own website, now going back to this, there is a real advantage to being in a marketplace like this. You're going to get sales that you naturally would not have gotten. However, when you compare this to having your own website, if you had an equal number of sales, you're paying $300 in fees that you normally wouldn't pay, maybe you'd pay $100 instead of $300. You'd pay 50, or if I did the bottom of the line Etsy or big commerce site, $29, $30 instead of $300, or the additional 200. I don't know, instead of $300. So there's really a drastic difference in what you would make, or what that site is actually going to cost you. Now, granted, I would have to probably do a little bit more work. I'd probably have to do an equal amount of advertising in order to draw people there and different things like that. Um, but that's something I need to consider. I think actually just looking at this, even just moving that domain name from here to there, starting another website, when you consider the $30 cost, uh, it's a lot better than what I'm doing right now, because really I'm not making diddly squat off of having a domain name pointed at Etsy. Really, it's horrible. So anyways, this is kind of what this is right now. So it is what it is for this month. And so for August, you can see here we had $15,000 in sales. We had $7,871 in expenses that I put together. So labor, with Linda helping me print T-shirts. I think we sold over 700 T-shirts, which is over 20 shirts a month, 20 shirts a day. Now, all of those sales took place, I think, the majority of them in the first 20 days of the month. So the actual average number of units per day was heavier during the first 20 days, and then obviously a lot lighter the last 10 days of the month. But we did hit and exceed the 20 shirts a day, which is where we'd love to be the first, for this month, hitting over 700 shirts for the month in sales. Now, what did that do to profitability? Well, after our expenses, we made $7,300, roughly, again, estimate. Together with the prior month, we're at nearly $10,000 that we made. So you can see really how drastically having a great month will affect you. Now, I've been talking about the sales for October. They're atrocious. September was bad. October so far has been horrible as well. We have really, in part was because I knew I had to do it, and we didn't do it. We didn't post Halloween T-shirts or anything for October. And now it's coming back to kind of bite us, in that we don't have a lot of sales coming in October, and it could be in part due to that, not having this other layer of products for people to buy in this other season. So that is something that I may want to remedy for November and December, Thanksgiving and Christmas. I will also say, though, that even though I did put the Halloween, because I did do some Halloween stuff, I did put them on my other site, that even on there, the Halloween sales of, because we put them on a little late and different things like that, they have actually been a little bit slower than previous months, previous Halloweens as well. So, but either way, our goal is 20 shirts a day. And as you can see, if I did 20 shirts a day on average over the course of a month, I have a really good opportunity of making nearly $7,000 a month in income. That $7,000, when we talk about starting a home business, why do you start a home business? Well, maybe there's the idea that one day you could be rich and successful, possibly. There's also that idea that maybe you just want to work for yourself. Well, you got to make enough income to work for yourself that it justifies leaving your other job and then going and working for yourself. Maybe another reason might be that you need to supplement your household income. So you go and you start a business hoping to bring in some income because you're just not making enough at your job, or you've got medical bills, or whatever the case is, that you financially you need the income. um, if I could have every month be like this month, it would be awesome. It really would be awesome. But as you've seen with the trend in sales, even the months coming up to and then hitting July and August, we were at nothing. We were at nothing. Even at June, we might as well have been at nothing. July, we actually made a decent amount of money that would actually help somebody, a household that had $2,000 extra a month come in. Yeah, would absolutely help. And then obviously in August, an extra $7,000 come in would be awesome for any family. Um, but that's kind of where it is. And then it's a matter of just getting consistently there. And you'll see from September with our sales drop and October with our sales dropping, it's not as easy as um, it just going up and staying there consistently. Now, if we had things that people were generally consistently interested in, that would be different. Now, I've noticed, and what I've started to kind of wonder is if, uh, especially with this line of shirts that we're doing, if too many of my products that I'm selling are uh, the idea of this concept and this line of shirts is too saturated. The market's too saturated, that we're not generating the number of sales that we possibly ought to be generating. Either that, or maybe we have not found the right niche of products to sell. Um, Obviously, there really has to be something out there that we could get consistent sales moving forward with, and so far we haven't found that. We have sold quite a few of the Hawaiian shirts. We've sold quite a few of the Disney princess shirts. The every princess needs whoever she likes, her counterpart in the movies. So, anyways, but we need to find something that actually helps our sales consistently, and we haven't quite found that yet. Now, there was one interesting trend with this, and I didn't actually go quantify it, but I can show you down here. All of these 11.99 transactions are all infant and toddler t-shirts. And I think my thing's gonna freeze. Anyway, so from line 293 down to about 700. So there were about 300. There were about 300 infant and toddler shirts sold on just Amazon, which I thought was kind of interesting, that those would skew so heavily on Amazon. Um, and then I know also on Etsy we sold an awful lot of infant and toddler shirts. It would not surprise me if 60% of what we sold were infant and toddler. So what I mean, basically a 3T or smaller, 3T, 2T, 18 month, 12 month, 6 month. And there maybe that's indicative of an opportunity. I'm not sure. Um, it also could have just been the eclipse and what people happen to have been interested on particular websites, where there happened to have been a niche that somebody else wasn't taking advantage of. So, anyways, but this is what we did. We actually had an excellent month in August. When I get the numbers together for September, I'll put them on here. Hopefully, I'll get that done here in the next day or two. I was kind of on a roll yesterday getting these done. I just had too many other things that made me not get September done at the same time. But there you go. Again, we'd love to have you subscribe to digitaltshirtshop.com. And thank you for following us and watching our profitability. We'll see you later.